Hello students, this is Professor Berger, and welcome to English 112 Section 890. I'm so excited to start the semester, and I'm really looking forward to getting to know everybody in the next couple of days. So today is our first class, and I wanted to start with just a really good overview of the course and the syllabus, class expectations, and then to transition into an introduction to our first reading assignment, which will be Antigone by Sophocles. So that's a very general overview of what I want to do today for our first class. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to do this with our first module. So hopefully what you see on your screen is not only myself, you can hear me, you can see me, but you can also see what I'm discussing at the same time. And this is how I am going to be presenting a lot of course material is through pre-recorded video lectures. Sometimes it'll just be my face and voice, and other times it will maybe just be the screen, which is the document, but quite often I will pre-record a video with both the screen showing the module that we're working on and the documents while I'm talking, so that you can see me and hear me and also at the same time see what I'm discussing. I think this is very helpful in bringing content to students, especially in an online class. So what you're going to see today will be very similar to what you see every week, which is an introductory video at the beginning of the week with a new module. Okay, so let's just get started. Let's jump right in. All right, so your screen when you log into Canvas is set up to take you directly to modules, and that's where you want to go every time. I have put all the course content and material in modules, and I have organized it so that it's clearly labeled and easy to access. The current module will always be at the top. So again, you log into Canvas, you go to the Canvas course website, the home page is actually modules. The module at the top will be the current module. So it's very easy. As soon as you log on, you're going to go straight to where you need to be. And this module is titled Getting Started First Day of Class, Tuesday, July 7th. So normally on the first day of class, of course, I would welcome students, and it's an introduction to class. It's a course overview, an introduction to the syllabus, really the mechanics of class, grading, assignments, expectations. That's the first half of class. That's usually about an hour and a half. The second half of class is an introduction to our first reading assignment, to the content, the literature, and a brief writing assignment. Okay, so there are two parts to the first class. And I always do this whether it's a face-to-face class or an online class. So we're going to do the same today, except of course we're doing it all online. The first half of this module will be an introduction to the course, the syllabus, the mechanics, etc., some brief introductions. And then the second half of this module, or second half of this class today, will be an introduction to the content and the literature and a little bit to writing. Okay, so that's what you're going to see, and this video will probably be around 20-25 minutes. I'm going to try and keep it short so that the module in whole will only be a couple hours. I think probably between an hour and a half and 2 hours, including this video. All right, but the purpose of this video is to take you through the module. I'm going to click through it page by page, explain, describe, and provide some additional information. So think of this as our first class lecture, an introduction to the course. Okay? All right, so I'm going to the top of the module, and we're just going to click on it. All right, this is our first page in the module. Syllabus highlights. And so this is a snapshot. This page is a snapshot of the syllabus. You actually need to read the entire syllabus, which is in files on Canvas. It's in this module, and I also emailed it to you earlier this week and I think last week as well, but it's been posted for a few days. If you haven't read the syllabus yet, that's okay. You didn't have to read it before the first day, but some of you might have already read the syllabus, and if so, then you can skip that step. But what I'm going to do on this first page is just, again, give you the highlights, and then your job will be to read the entire syllabus for the detail. So first, I want to stress the importance of the syllabus. It is key to your success in class. The syllabus is the roadmap to the semester. It's the key to the class, okay? Everything you need to know is contained within that syllabus. So it's very important to read it. But here are the highlights, and I'm just going to go through them. I'm not necessarily going to read them word for word, but I'll touch upon each one of these highlights here, and so follow along with me. Number one, how to contact your instructor. So the best way to contact me is through email, and I am on email throughout the week, Monday through Friday. I normally respond within 24 hours, except on weekends. I do take a little bit of time off to rest and spend time with my family. So I kind of disconnect and unplug from Friday night to Sunday. But if you have an emergency, something really urgent that can't wait until Monday, simply put urgent in the subject line of an email, so that if I glance at email Saturday night or Sunday morning and I see urgent, I'll be like, okay, that's something that a student really needs to have an answer before Monday morning. But normally I do respond during the week within 24 hours and quite often the same day. So I'm pretty quick at responding, and that is the best way to reach me, is email. All right, and my email is on the syllabus, but I'll give it to you again. It is trberger@aacc.edu, and that's Berger with an E. Number two, online office hours. So you don't have to be online. I just want to say that first. There's no required online meeting or meeting time in a 6-week course. When a lot of people are working, I think it's very hard to get 20 people to meet at a specific time once or twice a week for 6 weeks. A lot of people are working and have very different schedules, and I think that that would be an added stress to many students. However, you will have the opportunity to, if you need to, I mean, you have the videos to see me and hear me and connect with me. We have discussion boards, but if you needed to connect with me through a virtual conference, that is something I'm more than happy to do. As a general rule, though, you are not required to be online during the week at specified times. You can jump online at your convenience and do all of the work and watch the video lectures and work through the module. However, having said that, I will be online for specific hours and days every week. So you can count on me being online Monday through Thursday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. And if you have a quick question, then you know I'm going to be online from 11 to 12. Just jump online, grab your cell phone. Remember to download the Canvas mobile app. You can just pick up your phone, click on Canvas, and send me a quick Canvas message, a quick Canvas email from 11 to 12, a quick Canvas chat, which is like instant messaging on our Canvas course website, and expect a response within usually 5 or 10 minutes, or maybe just a couple minutes. A very quick response during online office hours. Next, number three, there is no, there is one required text, and that is Antigone by Sophocles, the Robert Bagg translation, but there's no additional requirement beyond Antigone. You just have one required textbook, and that's the first thing that we'll be reading this semester. Number 4, this is an asynchronous online course, which basically means what I just explained earlier. You don't have to be online at specified times in order to meet with me or your classmates. You can jump online at any time around your schedule and do the work, watch the videos, post on the discussion boards, review, whatever you need to do, work through the modules, okay? However, I do want to stress that even though there aren't required or mandatory meetings, you do need to plan to be online pretty regularly throughout the week. This is a 6-week course, so there's going to be reading and homework and writing every week, and that's going to require a significant time commitment. This first week will probably be more than the other weeks. Probably I would set aside 8 hours this week. You might take only 6, you might take a little more, it varies, but just plan on time to read and to write and to submit homework every week. And also remember, there are due dates. Okay, there are due dates. So even though you can jump online at any time and there are no mandatory meetings, you do have to be aware of due dates. Number 5, assignments. There are short daily assignments, as well as 2 essays, 1 formal reflection, an annotated bibliography, and 1 long research paper. Number 6, our general timeline and framework for accomplishing all of this. 6 weeks, that's the length of the course, and there'll be 6 modules over the next 6 weeks. That's 1 module per week. As a general rule, the module will open on Monday. You'll need to do the reading and the homework and plan on submitting the homework by Sunday, and a formal assignment will be due the following week. Grading. Number 7, so I provide a detailed assignment sheet with an outline and a rubric for grading with every major assignment. There's also a little mini rubric with our daily homework, but you get a detailed rubric with the major assignments. The outline will give you an idea of how to start the paper, how to organize and develop and write your paper. And then the assignment sheet, the directions are very specific with some examples, clear explanation. You'll know exactly what to expect in writing your major assignments. Also, in terms of returning graded papers, I will, as a general rule, return papers within a week and return graded homework within a couple of days. Okay, so first day of class is Tuesday, July 7th. Last day of class, 6 weeks from now, August 14th. There is no final exam, but there is a final paper, which is a research paper, and it's due on the last day of class. The college does require that I take attendance. So the way I take attendance for online class is simply through your online activity, okay? So Canvas is our classroom, and you have to log onto the Canvas course website throughout the week, right? For a summer course, a 6-week course, if we were meeting face-to-face, we would be meeting Monday through Thursday. We would literally be face-to-face in the classroom 4 days a week, 8 hours, roughly 7 to 8 hours a week, in addition to reading and homework. That's how you get 15 weeks condensed into 6 weeks. It's very concentrated, right? So all the same curriculum that would normally be done in 15 weeks is now being completed through 6 weeks or over 6 weeks, which is great. It works really well for a lot of people, but it does mean you have to be very committed. Log on to Canvas daily. This is your classroom, and immediately go to that module and start working on it, right? You don't have to open the module and complete it in one sitting. You can open it, work on it, and come back to it later, but you have to be pretty diligent throughout the week. And that attendance, opening the module, working through the modules, submitting work. That's what I'm looking at. That's the online activity that I use to gauge attendance. I will normally enter attendance on Monday by looking back at the previous week's online activity. What is a passing grade for English 112? Okay, so a D is technically a passing grade, and a D is 60% or better. However, if you plan to transfer this course to the University of Maryland or a four-year institution, then you need a C or better. That would be 70% or higher to transfer credit. So those are the highlights of our syllabus. The syllabus is actually around 9 pages, but I got it into 11 bullet points on one page. Do make sure that you read the syllabus, every page of it, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and click to the next page in our module, and you'll notice that I have uploaded a copy of the syllabus. If you've read the syllabus, you can go ahead and click to the next page. If you haven't read the syllabus, that's okay. Now is when you want to pause and read, scroll through the syllabus. It'll probably only take you about 10 or 15 minutes tops, but do that right now. And then when you're done reading and through the syllabus, go ahead and you can click next. So pause the video, read the syllabus, all right? So here's our next page, how to navigate modules. And again, I'm not going to read this word for word, but I want to give you a sense of how to work through those modules because they contain all of our class content, all of the materials that you need. And again, this is a 6-week course. We have 6 modules. That's 1 module per week, okay? When you log on to the Canvas course website, it will take you directly to modules. The current module will be at the top of the page. And what you want to do, very simple, right? How to navigate. Number 1, at the beginning of each week, a new module will open on Monday. Start at the beginning. Always go to the first page of the module. Don't try to skip ahead and just do the last page and submit the assignment at the end of the module. I had a few students who tried doing that last semester. First, they didn't know how to do the assignment because they had skipped everything from the beginning of the module. So they were, sending me 3, 4, 5 emails asking questions that were answered in the video at the beginning of the module. They were, quite frankly, thoroughly confused, and the assignment was taking them 2 or 3 times longer to complete because they thought it would be shorter to skip the beginning of the module and go straight to the end. So that was not efficient. It was not effective. It was frustrating for me, and quite frankly, it was frustrating for students. Start at the beginning of the module. It doesn't take long. Every module is going to have an introductory video. This one's a little longer than normal. They'll normally be about 10 or 15 minutes, but it's going to provide a lot of good information and instructions from me personally directly to you, okay? Second, after reading the page or viewing the video, you may have to mark it as done or click next to move to the next page, okay? Activities on each page vary. Sometimes it'll be a video. Sometimes you'll read information. Sometimes it'll be a PowerPoint. Sometimes it'll be reading a document that I uploaded. Or sometimes the next step or page in a module will be a short task. So do whatever you're supposed to do on that page, right? Complete the task and then move to the next page. Number 3, work your way through the module in sequential order. Do it in order from beginning to end. I've set it up in steps so that it makes sense, it's clear, it's logical, it's streamlined, and there's explanation that builds up to the writing assignments. So again, if you skip the instructions and try to go directly to the writing assignments, first the module isn't going to allow you to submit the assignment until you've clicked, you've started at the beginning. So on Canvas, these modules actually track your progress, and it will not let you submit an assignment in the middle or at the end if you haven't actually opened up the first, second, and third pages, the previous pages. So, again, save yourself a lot of grief and aggravation. Do it in sequential order. It's designed that way with a purpose, and it's really much easier. You can work on the module throughout the week at your own pace, on your own time. You don't have to open and finish it in one sitting, but there are due dates, okay? So, yes, you have due dates, no, there are no required meetings. There are instead recorded video lectures in which, you can see me and hear me, and I give you instructions directly. There are discussion boards in which we engage and interact. And if you need to, you can reach out to me during online office hours and we can chat virtually, or we could do a virtual conference. So there are lots of ways to connect with me, but the modules you do at your own pace. Just make sure, they open on Monday. You need to do the reading and submit the homework by the end of the week. Okay. Once you've worked through the module and submitted all the work, Canvas will mark it as complete. And this is very important. You need to complete each module. Number 7, there are no required online meetings. I know I've said this several times, but I think students are really expecting this. And a lot of you, again, have very different schedules. I've already talked to several of you. So, I chose to do pre-recorded videos and pre-recorded lectures and virtual conferencing. And just communicating through discussion boards instead of trying to make everybody meet up online. Let's see. So that's the modules. Again, start at the beginning, work your way through the module in sequential order. Some of you who haven't taken an online class before might be wondering, what is it about these modules? Why use them? They're actually very easy to navigate and operate. And quite frankly, in the past, when students have been given, I've noticed several weeks of content in one module or in one folder, it's just too much information. So by breaking the information down into weekly modules or manageable chunks, students are much more successful working through the material. As a matter of fact, one semester I had students who had a week-by-week module. That's how the whole semester was broken down. One module for each week, and it was almost 100% completion rate. Another class which had a module that had roughly 3 weeks of information in it. They had to open that module and work through it, and it was terrible. People just it was just too much information, and a lot of people, just got lost trying to process 2 and 3 weeks of content in one module. It was too much. So I have found these weekly modules to be very successful. Again, almost, really nearly 100% success rate. Modules also help us maintain a really good pace, right? So if we know we have 6 modules in 6 weeks, and we open at the beginning of the week and we submit by the end of the week and we finish that module, we've got a check mark, okay, it's done, it's complete, then we're on track, we're on target, we're keeping pace. That's a good pace. But if it's Friday, for example, if it's Friday, you've been working all week, you get home Friday night, you haven't opened the module, then technically you're behind, right? You've got a couple days and a lot of work to complete in the next 48 hours. You've got reading, writing, and homework, okay? So these modules really do help us kind of keep track in our mind of where we are. All right, I'm going to click to the next page. So here what we have is our first task. It's an introduction, introduce yourself to the class. It's actually our first discussion board. It's a really sort of simple, short, fun assignment. Do your best, do a thoughtful job as always. It's worth 5 points, but it's really designed to be a very sort of short and easy assignment. Our purpose with this discussion board is to make connections. So let me show you what you're going to be doing. Who are you? Who are your classmates? Introduce yourself to the class and your instructor by telling us 3 things you like and 3 things you dislike. You may use pictures instead of text if you like for this exercise. Our purpose with this activity is to make connections through getting to know each other. And here's a template for how to present your 3 likes and 3 dislikes. I've already posted on the discussion board and kicked it off. Okay, so do take a look at my post. That's an example for you. You can reply if you like, and then go ahead and take a few minutes and post your 3 likes and your 3 dislikes on the discussion board and introduce yourself to the class. Have a little bit of fun with this assignment. There is a little mini rubric up here at the top, right? If you want to take a look at it, this assignment's worth 5 points, but there's frequently a rubric attached to assignments which you can take a look at. Okay, moving right along. So next, a short student bio. Tell me a little bit about yourself. So this is not a public discussion board. This is between you and me. This is an assignment that only I will see, and it's a short, informal assignment. It's worth 10 points. So now that you've introduced yourself to the class, tell me a little bit about yourself. This assignment is not public or viewable to anyone other than myself. So I've got a few questions here, and really just feel free to share with me as much or as little as you would like. I'm looking for roughly 1 or 2 paragraphs, and if you'd like some guidelines in that first paragraph, tell me whatever you want to share about your hobbies, interests, college major, where you work, your family. You know, tell me about yourself, okay? Whatever you want to share. In the second paragraph, tell me about your previous experiences with English classes. Were they positive? Were they negative? Were they just okay? Were they challenging? What did you really love? What did you not like? What worked well? What didn't work so well? Give me a sense of what your experience has been with English and writing. Number 3, tell me anything you feel I need to know about you as a student. Is there anything I need to know about you in terms of reading and writing? Do you have any learning accommodations? What has worked best in terms of learning in previous classes? Number 4, have you ever taken an online class before? You know, if not, that's okay. If you have taken an online class, tell me about that experience in 1 or 2 sentences. What worked really well in that online class? What maybe didn't work so well? You know, did you love it? Was it a great experience? If not, that's okay. You don't need to tell me about the instructor. I'm not asking about the instructor. I'm just inquiring about your general experiences as a student in previous English classes or online classes. And number 5, feel free to share as little or as much about yourself, just in general, anything that would help me get to know you. So there are some questions to help guide you. 1 or 2 paragraphs. This is worth 10 points. I would say don't spend more than 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. Do your best. Do a thoughtful job. It does really help me a lot, but not more than 30 minutes. So, okay, we've worked our way through the first half of class already. Believe it or not, it's not even 30 minutes yet, right? I went over the highlights of the syllabus. You've had a chance to look at the syllabus. Most of you probably read it before the first day of class. I talked to you about how to navigate the modules. And you've had a chance to introduce yourself to your classmates, right, on the discussion board. And now you're going to do the short student bio, right? So this is actually our first half of class. Believe it or not, we've accomplished a lot. It goes by pretty quickly, right? And when you're done submitting your student bio, all right, you just want to go ahead and click to the next page, right? So what you can do is you can stop this video and go ahead and do the discussion board post and do the short bio, or you can just, keep on clicking through and then go back and do the work. Whatever works best for you. Before I move on to the second half of the module, the second half of class, I want to do a quick review again, and I want to stress the modules. So I want you to understand that I'm going to be very consistent. You're going to see a lot of consistency in this course, right? Again, 6 modules over 6 weeks. That's 1 module per week. But in addition to that, you're going to see that the modules look very similar. Each module will have an introductory video, very similar to this one, probably not as long, probably about 15 minutes. Each module will have a pre-recorded video lecture. Each module will have a discussion board post, a short reflection, a reading assignment. There might be a PowerPoint as some additional explanation. And then at the very end of that module, the culminating writing assignment will be a formal or major assignment, like an essay, okay? So that's what you can expect to see every week in each module. It will be very consistent. And the other consistency will be in my online hours, Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. But again, I'm around throughout the week. Just shoot me an email. I respond within 24 hours, okay? So let's go ahead and take a breath, and then, you know what, I'm going to have a sip of water too, okay? If you need to have a sip of water too, that's fine. You can take this moment to do that. We'll pause. And I'm going to click Next. And so what we have here is actually questions. Questions about the syllabus, questions about class. This is another discussion board. It's not mandatory, it's voluntary. But if you have questions about anything syllabus or class related, post them on this discussion board. I check it daily and I'll respond. And even if you don't have a question, it's good to go back in a couple days and check this discussion board and read what questions other people have posted. All right. So here, our second half of class. Here we are. Okay, so in this second half of our first day, I want to talk to you about your first reading assignment. All right. This is English 112 is literature and composition, reading and writing. That's what we're doing in this class. You're going to be reading literature, a couple different genres, and writing about it. And then at the end of 6 weeks, your last paper will be a long paper, a research paper about the literature. So again, that's sort of big picture. But what do you need to know for this week? Well, I want to get you started on reading Antigone. And so that's really the purpose for the next 10 minutes, is to provide you with enough information and introduction to Antigone, and enough information that you can start reading Antigone Wednesday, Thursday, and have it read by Friday. Believe it or not, it does not take long to read. It's a very quick and easy 60 pages, which sounds like a lot, but it's really not a lot. Okay, so let me explain. We're going to start at the top here. Now that we've had a chance to discuss the mechanics and a few brief introductions, let's talk about your first reading assignment. This will be Antigone by Sophocles, the Robert Bagg translation. So I sent out an email last week, and the book order was placed with the college bookstore several weeks ago. Hopefully all of you have your copy of Antigone by Sophocles. If you don't, go get it right away. You should do that right away. I believe the college bookstore has a digital copy of Antigone in addition to a printed copy. So you could, in theory, have it, purchase it and have it immediately. But you do need to have your copy of Antigone, the Robert Bagg translation, by Thursday at the latest. So a couple of notes about Antigone. It is an ancient Greek tragedy and play written by Sophocles around 460 BC. A play is different from other kinds of literature, and this is actually really important. You know, you may have seen a play, you may have read plays before, but you may not have read a play before. And a play is very different from reading a novel or a short story. It's a different experience. A play is mostly dialogue and stage direction. And while our text, the actual play of Antigone, is roughly 60 pages, it will likely not take long to read from beginning to end. for a couple of reasons. The Robert Bagg translation is a modern translation, and it's much easier, much easier to read compared to more traditional translations of the Greek, right? This play was written in Greek and translated from Greek into English, and Robert Bagg, on top of that, has put it into a very accessible, easy to read, modern English translation. Okay, so that's number one. Secondly, this is mostly dialogue. Okay, and so it's not dense. All right, I'm going to try and hold up my copy of Antigone. If you can see the pages there, right, there's not actually a lot on those pages. It's not very dense, right? It doesn't take long to read 2 pages of dialogue. If you pace yourself, you can very easily do maybe 30 pages in the first hour. I don't know, taking it slowly, taking notes, and then the other 30 pages in a second hour. Again, that's with pausing to take some notes. But by all means, don't rush through reading Antigone. Take your time, and if it takes you an hour, that's fine. If it takes you 2.5 hours, that's okay too. You want to read it carefully and slowly enough that you're comprehending. And that's also part of the purpose of this introduction. I have found in the past that when students have a good introduction to something before they sit down to read, the comprehension is just much better. You know, what is this play about? What can I expect? And it just really helps to know some, you know, information about what you're about to start reading before you jump right into it. Okay, it makes a really big difference, and it's also more efficient, because trust me, you don't want to spend any extra time rereading Antigone. You want to read it carefully once and get it the first time and have some notes, right? Do take notes while you're reading it, but that goes back to doing a good job of pre-reading with the introduction before you jump into reading it, okay? So, how are we going to accomplish this introduction, right? I actually have put together 4 very short videos. In total, they're only about 20 minutes. They're about 4 or 5 minutes each. And these are excellent videos. They're great videos about Antigone, the history of Antigone, the historical context, the cultural context of the play, the social context. They're really interesting. They're really well done. It will show you clips of performances of Antigone, very engaging, and just a really good job to help us kind of think about Antigone again before you start reading. So what you're going to do next is watch those short videos and take notes while you're watching those videos. And this is a pre-reading exercise. Quick note, while you're watching the videos, if you need closed captions, this feature is available on the bottom right-hand corner of the video and can easily be turned on by simply clicking the CC button from off to on. So bottom right-hand corner, little CC button, click that to the on position and you'll get very clear closed captions in, you know, most any language you want. As you watch the videos. So that function and feature is there if you like to take advantage of closed captions. A couple words about the videos. They were created by the National Theatre in London, England. They are really an excellent introduction to the play and really well done. These videos are moderated by scholars and theater professionals who have directed and performed Antigone. So very experienced. These individuals really know the play from a scholarly point of view and from an acting and performing and directing point of view, which is great. You really get a full, well-rounded 360 point of view and introduction to Antigone. And I tell you, I think these videos are so good that I show them to my face-to-face classes. So I have taught Antigone many times in the past, and I always start with these videos as an introduction, and students really enjoy them and get a lot out of them before they actually start reading Antigone. So these videos are not just they're not just fillers. They're not just busy work. They really are great videos, and I really do want you to watch them and take notes while you're watching. So after watching the videos and taking notes, be sure to complete the short response assignment at the end of this module. You'll need to upload a picture of your notes and upload your answers to the questions. Now, how do you upload? So you can take handwritten notes and take a picture with your cell phone of your notes and upload that file to the assignment link. You can also answer the questions by hand on a piece of paper, right? Take a picture of your answers, your responses, and upload that file to the assignment link. Or if you prefer, you can type up your notes in a Word doc. You can type up your answers to the questions in a Word doc and upload those files. Either way is fine. Do whatever works best for you. But I think for some students, just watching and doing handwritten notes and then immediately answering the questions by hand is just easier. So if that's what you want to do, then do it by hand. This is an informal assignment, what I'm about to show you. Do it by hand and take a picture and upload the files. Okay, so what is the assignment I'm talking about? Let me see if I can get to it. I'm going to click next. These are actually the videos. I'm sorry. This is the first video, National Theater Intro to Antigone. That's about 8 minutes. This second video focuses on Antigone and Creon. These are the two main characters of our play. The third video talks about one of the major themes, family and state. This one I think is only 3 minutes. Some of these videos are very short. And then another video on a second theme in the play, Antigone and religion. I will say, just a quick note, that, keep in mind that the ancient Greeks, this is a couple thousand years ago, that religion was a very important part of society for the ancient Greeks. It was very, very important. And so this is important to the main character, Antigone. She is very much motivated by religious values and religious beliefs, and this is a central part of this play. However, modern readers are not necessarily all religious. Some of us are religious and some people aren't. So if the word religion is an obstacle, just think, replace it with maybe the word morality or morals or moral. Because really what Antigone is fighting for in this play is her convictions, whether it's a religious conviction or a moral conviction. Don't let that word religion be an obstacle. Think moral conviction. That works equally well. Okay, so here's the end of the module assignment. Again, short informal assignment. So you're going to spend about 20 minutes watching the videos. You're going to take notes. You can pause the video, jot down your notes, then hit play to continue. So, okay, maybe 30 minutes to watch the videos and take all of your notes. And then this short informal response, 30 minutes, okay? You can spend more time if you want, but I don't think it's necessary. So I have 4 questions here. What do you know about Antigone after watching these short videos? Explain. What do you think of Antigone so far? Does she sound like a hero, a person ahead of her time? What do you think of Creon so far? Does he sound like a leader, someone you would follow, right? And I will tell you right now, Antigone and Creon, they're not perfect characters. They're not perfect individuals. They both have strengths and weaknesses, and they both have admirable qualities, but they also are both very headstrong and stubborn, and they have weaknesses. The Greek playwrights loved flawed characters, and so both Antigone and King Creon are flawed individuals, and they both are operating from strong convictions. She is coming from the point of view of religious or moral convictions. King Creon is coming from the conviction of as a leader who has to govern a difficult situation, right? So he's coming at the situation from a civic duty and civic law and governance, and Antigone is coming at it from one of personal and individual beliefs, right? So this is really a clash of worldviews, a clash of points of view, and a clash of positions, right? Two very strong-willed people with different points of view. They're both passionate. They both follow their heart, but they're coming at it from different places. And it's very interesting to watch what happens when they clash and neither one of them is willing to yield. Remember to take notes while you're watching the video. Handwritten or typed, it doesn't matter. Okay, upload your files to this assignment link when you're done. It's worth 15 points. Here's the rubric so you can see how you earn those points. And Canvas does allow you to upload multiple files. So that is actually the end of our first module, Getting Started, or the first day of class. And again, normally if we were meeting face-to-face over the summer, this would be about a 2.5 hour class. This video is about 45 minutes. I think actually between the introductory videos on Antigone and the short assignment and the discussion board introducing yourself, the short bio, you're probably right at about 2.5 hours. So very, very comparable, right? This is our first class. And as always, if you have any questions at all about anything, please don't hesitate to email me. I'm really happy to answer questions. And, I look forward to hearing from all of you and seeing your introductions on the discussion board, reading your responses. And don't forget that Wednesday, all right, this is the first day of class, but Wednesday I will be posting your first module for the rest of the week. The module I post on Wednesday will have all the content for Antigone. So it will have another short video in which I'm talking about Antigone, a discussion board, a short reflection, and then your assignment description and rubric for the first essay. So be looking for that on Wednesday. You should finish this module by open it on today, Tuesday, finish it around Wednesday, start reading Antigone Wednesday, and ideally be done reading Antigone around Thursday. Okay, so take care, everybody. Have a great day, and send me an email if you have any questions.